Okay, so before we get into our gaming session of Left 4 Dead here over on Twitch, I would like to have a discussion on David Bruckners Hellraiser and some of the new Cenobites that we will actually get to see in the new Hellraiser by David Bruckner, which releases tonight. Actually, it released at 3 a.m. Eastern time on Hulu, so most of us will be watching it this evening. We have a list of brand new Cenobites plus one Cenobite that is returning. Well, actually, there's two Cenobites that are returning to the film franchise, and I'm super excited because the very first Cenobite that I love is the Chatterer. And if you're not familiar with the Chatterer, he has been in, and it's a he has been in numerous Hellraiser. Definitely in the first one and the second one. The Chatterer is very tall. He's a lanky creature with exposed bloody muscle, and he has his lips are all pulled back, so he has no actual lips. They're just pulled back, lipless mouth. He's got no eyes, and he's got a chattering jaw that is powered by a small motor in the back of his head. I do have photos that I am going to pop up in here to show you what the Chatterer looks like. So this is our lovely Chatterer. Yes, we will be doing Left 4 Dead. The Chatterer is one of my favorites. And I don't know if they've changed the Chatterer much when it comes to appearance. I don't think they have. However, this is what he looks like. He definitely has no eyes. There is not even holes for his eyes. And the way his mouth is wired and open with no lips, you definitely see his teeth, and he's constantly chattering. Now, there is a second version of the Chatterer. The second version of the Chatterer is just the torso of the Chatterer. Now, you're not going to see that in this Hellraiser 2022. From my understanding, we will see just the regular Chatterer. Sister Celise with her oh so effable throat wound is my favorite Cenobite design. Oh yes, yes. The Cenobites are amazing. There are a ton of Cenobites that are not in the film. They've never made it to the films. There's quite a bit of them. We'll have a discussion on that one probably another time when I go into what the Leviathan is all about. Isn't it the Chatterer's fan theory he was a child that opened the box? Yes, there's a lot of fan theories out there, and one of them was that he was a child. And technically, oh my goodness, which Hellraiser actually shows them as children? I think it's number 2, Hellbound. Where you get to see what the hell the Cenobites are and what they were before they became Cenobites, right? All Cenobites were human. They were all human. So yes, Dr. Chenard, yeah, he gets turned into a gnarly looking Cenobite. But there are tons of Cenobites that don't even make it into the film, any of the films. It was so terrifying that you find out Chatterer was a little boy in Hellbound. Yep. And number 2, I've seen Hellraiser franchise so many times. It's such a good franchise. It does get a little funky after 3. Seriously, it does. But it's definitely worth a full watch. So if you haven't checked out the Hellraiser franchise, definitely check it out. You'll have fun with them. Now, the next brand new, then this is a brand new Cenobite. This Cenobite hasn't been made previously. This was made for this Hellraiser universe, and it's very, very cool, and it is called the Weeper. Yeah, the Weeper, let's see if I have a picture of her. I don't have a picture of her. However, you'll see her in the film. The Weeper has dagger blades driven through her feet to create the disturbing effect of spiked heels. Yeah, not a whole lot of information on the Weeper just yet, except for that. And there's not many photos of the Weeper either. The majority of these Cenobites that we see, there are no images outside of the film just yet. Then we have the Gasp, the Gasp, which was inspired by an unnamed character in the original that fans referred to as Deep Throat, which Deep Throat was very graphic of a Cenobite. They're all pretty graphic Cenobites. But she has a gaping hole in her throat. Like, and if you've never seen Deep Throat, go and look her up. She's pretty wild looking. And I thought Hellraiser Bloodlines was good, dealing with the toy maker. Yeah, and believe it or not, the La Marchand box, the configuration box, or the Lament configuration box, however you know it by, actually has two different origin stories outside of the Hellbound Heart and that whole thing there. We're talking about just the Lament configuration. I did a TikTok video on the Lament configuration box and the origin stories that it comes with, because there are two, one from the early comics from the 1990s, and then the other one later on in Bloodlines. And that's where we find out about the second origin of the Lament box, or the La Marchand box, created in 1784 by Philip La Marchand. Now, the next Cenobite that we're going to talk about is Asphyx. Asphyx. There is no imagery as of yet for this Cenobite. Anyways, it is called that because the skin stretched over its face keeps it from breathing. So it's slightly bent with bound arms and pearl piercings surrounding its head. This one really tweaks my interest. Yeah, is a really good metal band. Yes, you can look it up. There's also a movie on it as well, but not a Cenobite. So if you do go to Google and type in the ass, don't type in the ass, Asphyx, like asphyxia, you will see there's a movie from like 1974, there's a metal band, there's a few other things. There, as of right now, there are no images out there yet for this Cenobite. So you will get to see it firsthand in the movie itself. The next Cenobite is the Mother. This one I am really excited to see. There are no pictures of the Mother. The Mother will be seen in the film itself. However, the Mother sports a permanent baby bump, which goes great with her razor-tipped fingers and the fine veil of skin peeled from her scalp that falls over her eyes. Just imagine that. The thin veil of skin peeled from her scalp, and it comes over her eyes with a baby bump. This is some nightmare crap going on here. This is good. The less exposure gives more of a shock. Exactly, Shadow. I wasn't upset when I was looking for images. I wasn't really planning on utilizing images during the live stream, but throwing them in after the fact. However, there has been two pictures of the Weeper and the Mask. And these just visuals from the description of the article that I read, it's really nightmarish. Like, you can just imagine what they smell like as well, right? Like, yeah. I just really want Cenobite with severed tongues lined up like slugs upon her thighs. Oh, that would be definitely interesting. The Mask, it's spelled Masque, has ancient inscriptions tattooed down his chest and more writing on its back, including the names of all the people in the prosthetics FX workshop. So when you see the mask, you're going to, if it gets close enough, and I don't know because I haven't seen the movie yet, but if we ever get a close-up video, and I'm sure we will, of the FX that these actors went through, we're probably going to be able to see all of the names of the people who worked in the workshop for the FX, because their names are literally inscribed on its back. I thought that was a really cool touch. He is completely inexpressive in his face, and it's just suspended from a wire frame, with the back of his head removed by VFX, which is super crazy looking. I know I have shared the imagery of the mask on my Facebook and on Instagram. He's very creepy looking, and I say he, but it has technically no real gender. If he did, we don't know the backstory yet. We do know, however, all of the Cenobites were human. They were human. Their sadomasochist fate that brings them to the Leviathan, which is the deity they worship, is the Leviathan. And if you've never seen Hellbound, which is part 2, it goes into this quite in depth. Actually, you go to the Leviathan, you see it, there's an explanation of the Leviathan. So I'm definitely going to tell you guys to watch 1 and 2 if you haven't watched them yet, but you don't have to watch it before Hellraiser 2022, because David Bruckners Hellraiser is not a remake. It is in the same universe as Hellraiser. So we are going to see Jamie Clayton as Hell Priest, and I'm really excited because she seems to be more descriptive to how we see Hell Priest in the Scarlet Gospels and the Hellbound Heart, which are, the Hellbound Heart is a bunch of short stories. This is where we first originally see Frank Cotton, Kirsty, and the whole family, where 1987 Hellraiser is actually from. So it is definitely different, and this time around, instead of Kirsty being in the film, we have Riley, who will be in the film. Riley is a drug addict trying to kick a habit, and well, Riley plays with the box. Yeah. I'm really excited. I will be watching it. Well, fingers crossed, I will be watching it tonight. Now, some of the upcoming horror games that I want to check out, which I don't know if you guys are aware of, but there's some really cool ones happening. I don't think it's going to be less than amazing, Cataly, to be honest with you. From what I've read on it, from what I've read, from the trailer itself, to the stuff that I already know about the Hellbound Heart and Scarlet Gospels, and what I know about David Bruckner, I don't think it's gonna be. I think people are gonna be very surprised, and I think there will be people who will just love this new Hellraiser. I can't see anything bad. Mind you, I haven't seen it yet, so, but I just can't see it being horrible. I can't. And the actors and actresses that they have involved with this film, they're really top tier actors. It's a continuation. It is a continuation in the Hellraiser universe. It's not going to be considered like, you know, the franchise, like Bloodlines and then Judgment and all of that. It's in its own standing in the universe of Hellraiser. And David Bruckner, it was in an interview about it, and that's what he said. He even stated that it was impossible to remake Hellraiser. How do you remake something that's so amazeballs? You just can't. It is not a sequel. No, it is not, Loyal. It is in the universe of, it's just a continuation of Hellraiser, right? Not a reboot, not a remake. Very similar with the name, and the reason why they named it Hellraiser, right? It's very similar to what Scream did to Scream 2022. It started this whole new thing. Same thing with Texas Chainsaw Massacre, right? So it's not that it's they just utilized the name again to confuse people. They utilized it because it's still in the same universe. Yeah, no worries. Have a good one, Darkbreaker. Okay, so now the upcoming horror games that I have been checking out that have been on my radar. Two of these games are from Amica Games, and you know Amica Games because I've played them in this stream before, Summer of 58. I really enjoyed that game. So they have two games coming. Both are on my wish list. The first one is Father's Day. Father's Day has been on my wish list for quite some time. And if you are unaware of Father's Day, The game goes a little something like this. The dream of living happily ever after was destroyed after Philip lost his wife and son. Obsessed with the desires to return them, he develops a plan that he does not tell anyone about. Now, if you've ever played any of Amika's games, they are jump scares riddled. Like there's tons of jump scares in Amika games. Now, Father's Day, from what I've been reading, because Amika Games did post an update out on Twitter, and they are working on it. Well, he is working on it, and there will be more to come. One of the other games that I'm really excited to play is Locked Up. Locked Up is another game by Amika. Now, Amika is one dev, right? One dev. And the few games that I have played of Amika games, they are about 2 hours, around 2 hours, sometimes a little longer, maybe about a 3-hour mark you might be able to. And I believe Father's Day is going to be a bit longer than the 2-hour mark. Or the 1:30 mark, depending on how quick you do your playthroughs on either game. Like FNAF level of jump scares. Jump scares, yeah, basically loyal. I would highly suggest Summer of 58. That's a nice short game, and perfect Cataly. But yeah, it's a good game. There's also another one that I played. That I also played over on YouTube. I cannot remember the name of it at this moment. But anyways, Father's Day and Locked Up, you can head over to Steam right now and check them out and put them on your wish list. Another one that just came out recently, and I don't know if Cataly is aware of this game, but it's a multiplayer game, and it's called Fear Therapy. It's kind of reminds me of like a Malum Devourer like mixture. And Fear Therapy is a multiplayer 1 to 4 and single player psychological horror game where you try to complete the quests and leave the horror house before it's too late. Satan gets angrier and angrier every second, and nothing holding it back. So this game to me looks like there is some jump scares as well as some scary crap that's going to go on inside of it. Fear, you can get it now out on Steam. It is an early access, and I think it's like $5.69 Canadian, so you can't go wrong for $5. I will have all the links to these games that I'm talking about in my description here on YouTube, so if you haven't already liked this video, please like it. If you haven't subscribed, please do so as well. Now, there's another game that's already out. It's called Hotel Greenwood. Hotel Greenwood is a psychological horror and thriller game played with a first-person camera. You explore this mysterious hotel with its intense and dark atmosphere. You solve events and you witness the story behind the disaster that happened in the past. Another nice, frightful, scary single play game. I haven't played any of these yet, but we will be playing them here on Twitch, and we will be checking them out also on YouTube. There is Chiller's Art. Chiller's Art, the radio station. Now, this is a Japanese psychological horror game. There's not a whole much of a description on it, but it is up on, I don't know why the bot's not working as well. That's something we'll figure out. Anyways, Chilla's Art, they have a few games. This is a radio station that is haunted in a way, and it's a psychological horror game. So we'll be checking that out. I can't wait to check that out, to be honest with you. There's another game called Fears to Fathom. Fears to Fathom is Fears to Fathom Northwood Hitchhike is the full name of the game. Basically, Holly Gardner, a 19-year-old on an interstate, experiences unusual happenings that lead to an unplanned stay at a motel, Little did she know what was transpiring in Norwood Valley. This game gives me Colina Legacy and Welcome to Hanwell vibes. And I think it's going to be a pretty good game from what I can see on it. These are all independent games made by indie game makers. They are on Steam. You can check them out. You can wishlist them if you are curious about them and want to keep an eye on them. Father's Day and Locked Up, wishlist them. Fear Therapy, Hotel Greenwood, The Radio Station, and Fears to Fathom are already out. You can buy them now. I believe they're anywhere from $3 to $5.69. So to have a horror game to scare the crap out of you for $5 or even $3 is a steal. The amount of money we pay out for games is atrocious. And these games will give you hours of fun, having you scream like a little child. And I can't wait to do that. Colina's Legacy is so very good. Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's tons of great information in Colina's Legacy. The storyline is really good. Same thing with Welcome to Hanwell. Welcome to Hanwell is nerve-wracking, and it's dark and creepy. And it's got some visual effects in it that a very Silent Hill feel when you play Welcome to Hanwell. Those are another 2 indie games. You can actually play them on Xbox. Fear Therapy is a fantastic game, in my opinion. I haven't played it yet. Is that knocking coming from Cataly? Cataly, are the ghosts hanging out? Where is your Chucky? Where is your Chucky? Why is... Oh, because it's going to show the resub. Why is it popping off now? That is so strange. Behind you. Yeah. Oh. No, not here. No cameras didn't go off. That's weird. Yeah, Mr. Chico is behind me. Well, he was behind me. Yeah, he's still there behind me. See the kind of crazy shenanigans you miss out when you're not here live over at my Twitch channel. I know you're here watching YouTube, so make sure you give us a like and a subscribe, but also come over to my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/ReAnimateHer. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you enjoy this video and want to see more, make sure you give us a subscribe. If you want to come and hang out with us with the live discussion of horror and video games, make sure you stop by my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/ReAnimateHer. And until next time, my creepies, I will slash yous all later. Bye-bye. If you would like to join us for a live horror chat discussion, please make sure to stop by our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/ReAnimateHer, and make sure to stalk me at all my other locations on the World Wide Web.